altcoins, DeFi, NFTs, and anything in between like gamification. That's what we're going to talk about today, as a certain project is possibly becoming the next gaming. Altcoin, DeFi, and NFT star all wrapped up into one. So who is this hot new NFT project? We'll find out in about 10 minutes, give or take a few, because it's time for Chico Crypto. NFTs, many don't get the hype, many don't get the value behind them, but one thing is for certain, they are here to stay. They have been and are still in a major bull cycle run. As we can see from stats on OpenSea, the largest NFT marketplace, volume exploded in August. The daily shows over $300 million in a single day, and September is already on track to do just as much volume as August did, which equated to almost 3.5 billion. NFTs have captured the attention of crypto traders far and wide, and it's taken a while for a project to get my attention, but one finally has, and it's taken the non-fungible world by storm. What is this NFT project, and does it have an altcoin? Well, yes it does, and that project is the Loot project. It was released a week and a half ago, only a short 10 days, with this tweet from the founder, Dom Hoffman, who's actually the founder of the once popular Vine app, the precursor to TikTok. Dom said, "Loot randomized adventure gear, no images or stats, intentionally omitted for others to interpret. No fee, just gas, 8,000 bags total." And below is a picture example of the NFT, Loot Bag number 1. It's just a black background with 8 lines of text, each line describing an adventure gear item. So what makes this unique? What makes this NFT project so groundbreaking? What is allowing this to have more hourly volume than the top 4 other NFT projects combined? Well, this Loot project is doing something that no other NFT project has done before. It's making NFT money Legos. What do I mean? Well, many popular DeFi projects like MakerDAO, Aave, Synthetics, Compound, and more got their initial surges in popularity from when people understood the concept of DeFi money Legos. Protocols and tokens can be combined together to create DeFi offerings, and combined even further to create something the world of finance has never seen before. Thus, the true value of these DeFi projects on Ethereum were realized, and it stemmed from the concept of composability. This layered building flexibility couldn't exist in traditional financial markets, only in the world of DeFi. It was groundbreaking. Now the Loot project is doing to the NFT space of what many DeFi projects did to the finance space. It's flipping it on its head. The Loot NFT acts as a base building block. The NFT is just a deed of ownership to a unique list of text and items, and the metadata from that. That's all there is to it, and that's intentional because it's meant to be built on top of. So the typical NFT you have seen out there has a top-down approach. The creator or creators create all the value, which is returned to the NFT holders and project community. Loot takes the bottom-up approach, where the NFT collectors and community create the value of the NFT. The creator of Loot has just provided the bricks, the wall of text or infrastructure, which allows things to be built by the community. And things are being built at lightning speed. As we can see from Loot resources, developer tooling is more robust than most crypto projects in just 10 days. There are guilds, trackers, but the big ones for the community are the derivative projects. The projects that remix or build on top of Loot, like what's supposed to happen. It's a massive list that just keeps growing and growing. From the derivatives, your Loot can become a unique pixel character. Your Loot can have a unique realm. Your Loot can have stats tied to it, and so much more from the derivative list. And this is all getting rolled up into things like Loot Mart, which unbundles and then creates AI generated renditions of your Loot items. So you can trade individual Loot items and upgrade your character and inventory with better rare items by swapping and trading with other looters. A giant metaverse is being built before our eyes, and Loot holders are being rewarded and then some. Remember, Loot was free to mint. There were no costs to mint these on August 27th, unlike all other NFT projects, which have had a mint fee. You only had to pay the gas fees. Well, the floor for the loot NFTs has exploded, reaching nearly 14.88 ETH over the weekend, and at its peak, it was more than $58,000. Then OG loot holders also got an ERC20 airdrop, that altcoin I was talking about, and it has already surged into the top 200 cryptocurrencies with a market cap of almost $400 million. This was Adventure Gold, and 10,000 of them were given to each loot holder. Adventure Gold hit a peak of $7.14 on Friday. That means the airdrop was 74 grand. Thus, OG minters only had to pay an Ethereum gas fee, and even if they ended up with the least rare bag of loot, it was a free $132,000. And even the loot derivatives we spoke of are finding value in the OpenSea markets, like the realms and loot treasure. There is even abstract art that can be created from your loot bag, which has value and volume on OpenSea. Loot holders are entitled to airdrops, the creation of these derivatives. It seems like things were almost too good to be true. A loot money printer machine of sorts. Snap back to reality, because if we go back to the floor chart, there was a pretty significant crash over the weekend when the floor dipped from the high of 14.88 ETH to 6.50. What happened? Well, since there are only 8,000 loot ever to be created in total, and the price is over 50 grand for a loot bag, many people were saying that people were priced out of the game, like regular Joes. Even the likes of Hayden, the founder of Uniswap, was saying that. Well, this caused the founder Dom to do something which spooked the loot NFT trading market. He issued more loot with this tweet. It's exactly that, more loot. More loot bags past the original number of 8,000. 250,000 more per year until a cap is reached just past 1.3 million. So what Dom did here is he opened the doors for more people to be invited into the game. But this caused panic. People didn't understand Dom's move. They thought that this was a destruction of what gave loot value, its rarity. But people don't realize this is a separate category of loot. It's a common loot Dom talked about in the loot Discord the day before. More loot, or M loot, is just another option of synthetic loot. Dom said that in his tweet, and in Discord he said synthetic loot is Z loot, the common tier that everyone can get. Thus, more loot is Z loot. It's just a common tier, a way to open the game to millions of more people. And some people realized this and they swept the crash floor. Kyle Semani, managing partner at Multicoin Capital, announced they made an 8-figure loot purchase as a first NFT purchase for the VC firm. So I'm an OG looter. I have an original loot bag and I bought it near the top. Why? Because in a week and a half, it's baffling how big this has become and how it's captured the imagination of the Ether community as a whole. Large VCs are picking it up and talking about it. Hayden is talking about it. Shoot, even Vitalik is talking about it. So I aped, as I'm down to go along for this loot ride to the moon, or even if it ends up zero and at the ground. Remember, you guys, this is not financial advice. Make your own decisions. OG loot still has a very hefty price tag, and it may eventually go to zero. And you can get involved for much cheaper with the Hyperverse being built by mining more loot. All you have to do is pay the gas fee, although more loot will never be OG loot, remember that. But I do believe something special is being built, or I wouldn't have picked up an OG loot bag. The founder puts the words down better than anyone else could of why. He said 100k bags plus across OGs, remixes, and other loot likes, all built trustlessly using get weapon, get ring, etc. format. Millions of unique items, so many people building already, and so many ideas on what to build next. Facebook can have the metaverse. Let's build the hyperverse. NFTs, DeFi, gamification, and altcoins at hyperdrive? Chico likes. Cheers, I'll see you next time.